Part of the Conway Medical Center's foundation is the Winter Gala. Find out what it's all about. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Reflections Bar at the Marina Inn at Grand Dunes, home of the 8th annual Winter Gala of the Conway Medical Center Foundation, to be held on Saturday, January 26th. We're focused on the gala and we're visiting with the Associate Executive Director of the Conway Medical Center Foundation, Jessica Sasser. Good morning, Jessica. A long title there.
I know it.
And a big foundation, a lot going on. I was at the Conway Medical Center website this morning. There's a page for the foundation.
Yes, there is.
Early this morning, obviously, a page for the foundation, and a lot going on right now.
There is a lot going on. We just updated our portion of the hospital website, and we hope that it's easily navigate. You can get in there easy. You can now donate online.
Is that right?
We're really proud of
I saw that.
putting
That little click
there.
on there. That's right.
Yes, so it lists all of our events, some of our top donors, our top sponsors, and we're real proud of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You've got to be. And a lot of sponsors have to wrap around to help put on events like the one in a little less than 2 weeks, as well as, of course, your big Kingston Gala, Waste Management and their longtime sponsorship, as well as so many other tremendous sponsors that step up to the plate to really make that event happen.
Yeah, that's right. You know, our largest event is the Kingston Golf Classic. It's been going on now for almost 13 years.
Wow.
And immediately after the Winter Gala, we start preparing for the Kingston Golf Classic, which is in May. It's held on Memorial Day weekend. And that event is now raising over $80,000 for our Health Reach program.
Come on now. That is wonderful, Jessica. Well, of course, the event here in a little less than 2 weeks raised a lot of money as well.
It has. Last year was a banner year for our Winter Gala. We raised a little bit over $68,000 from that event.
Yeah.
We're real proud of that because it's a young event still. It's in its 8th year, and when we started in 2001, we raised about $36,000. So, you know, gradually we'll get up to where the Kingston Golf Classic is.
How exciting, Jessica. Real quick about yourself. Are you originally from the area? You were with us a year ago here on the show when we were filming at Beach First National Bank, and so I know this answer, but some viewers may not. Are you originally from the area?
I am originally from this area. Originally born in Columbia, South Carolina, but I grew up in Conway and was raised there and educated in Horry County schools, and then later went to the College of Charleston. So I'm proud to be from this area, and you know, when you go off to college, you tell yourself, oh, I'm never going to go back to the place where I grew up. I have all these big dreams, but didn't work out that way, and I'm glad about that. I'm glad to be back here.
You're thrilled. Yeah. So, and you still have family in the area, Jessica?
My whole family lives in this area, and my husband's family. So,
is that right?
A couple of weeks ago at Christmas, we were back and forth and real busy and
back and forth between homes there.
Between homes and families,
and
it was real busy, but always really fun.
Yeah.
And lots of kids in my family, so we have a big time.
You mean lots of kids, like brothers and sisters, or of your own? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have 2 kids of my own, and then my brothers and sisters all have kids. And it's a circus sometimes.
Yeah. Did anyone leave the area, or did they all ultimately migrate back to Horry?
Well, most of my family still does live in the Conway area. I have a sister that owns the Rivertown Bistro in Conway.
Great. Yeah.
And I have a sister that lives in Raleigh, and also one in the Florence area. So we're not too far away from home.
Yes, yeah. Jessica. Well, your sister and brother-in-law took very good care of some folks that bought the event. The dinner that they put on last year at the gala. Actually, I helped host an event there in their nice private dining room one night, which was wonderful. So please thank her on behalf of all the folks who attended that dinner, and I hope they're throwing that in again this year.
Well, they are. Yeah. They are throwing that in again this year. It's a dinner and wine pairing in their private dining room at the Rivertown Bistro. Darren, who happens to be my brother-in-law, who have to bribe every year to give me something. He's going to do some of his fabulous dinners and appetizers and that sort of thing, and it should be a fun package.
Oh, yeah. Well, the bidding went up. I can't remember who was bidding against me last year, but there are some amazing auction items. That's part of the thrill of getting in today. I think you mentioned before we started filming that y'all are totally sold out.
We are sold out, and we have a waiting list now. And, it's a frustrating problem to have, but it's a good problem just because you feel like you want to get everybody in.
Oh, yeah.
But you just can't. You just can't accommodate everybody. The ballroom is only so big, so we're fortunate to have a waiting list.
And part of the thrill about being here, last year the 7th annual Winter Gala was held here, and of course it was one of the first big events for the Marina Inn here at Grand Dunes. Was well attended. I mean, obviously again a sold out crowd that night, but they were thrilled, and I think it worked mutually well for everybody.
It did. We were the first event with over 300 people.
Right.
They had last year a New Year's event, which I believe was around 150 people.
Right, yeah.
Ours, of course, was a little challenging because it was their first sit-down dinner, and but they did a wonderful job.
Crackerjack, yeah.
I mean, it was just very professional and great staff here at Marina Inn. I can't say enough about them.
And such an amazing facility. It seems to go on and on. As you drive up, it looks relatively small, but when you're in here with all the fashionable, beautiful, rare art spread around through the facility, of course, it's got the AAA 4-diamond ranking, as you know. Later in the week, Axel Surrey, their general manager, will be with us, I think, on Thursday, and the CEO of your medical center, I believe, on Friday, which we're real excited about. We had Burns with us, the executive director of the foundation, just a couple of months ago when we filmed in Conway over at Sassy Girl, which was great. And of course, he highlighted much of what this event coming up on Saturday the 26th, much of those dollars raised will go to. Share with viewers a little bit about why a gala needs to be held.
Well, at the foundation, we host 2 events, again, our golf tournament and our winter gala, and both of those events benefit our Health Reach programs.
Okay.
And that is a broad term for our programs that help the medically underserved of Horry County. A lot of people are familiar with the Health Reach mobile van that goes out into the community because it's so visible. It is staffed by 2 nurses, and they go out to different rural areas of Horry County to do different educational screenings. They do flu shots, they do cholesterol screenings, they do some cancer screenings.
The mammography.
And they go to areas like Fisherman's Headquarters in Conway, Ron's Busy Corner, which is a convenience store in Horry County. They go to these places because a lot of times you'll find that people are afraid to go to the doctor. So the idea behind the mobile van is we're going to go to you.
Right.
And we're going to see if you are at risk. And then we'll refer you to a physician. And it just makes that whole process a little bit, easier for that patient. If they have elevated levels or that sort of thing, then we can sit down with them one-on-one and say to them, you might want to go to a doctor, and this is the doctor we're going to refer you to, and we're going to follow you every step of the way.
Wow,
so it's really one-on-one.
Fantastic. Yes, and you've heard about this anecdotally from folks who may have been afraid to go to a doctor, or directly, either talking to you directly or heard stories about it. Folks that are afraid, and having the 2 folks arrive and essentially welcome them in the van or even come out to them. It's
and it's and a lot of times these patients don't have the means to go to the doctor. They're uninsured, or they just simply don't have the money, and then that too causes a little bit of stress. How are they going to pay for it? Well, I can't pay for it, so I can't go to the doctor. And so these 2 nurses really spend a lot of time with that patient to get them. Yes,
and they'll be with us either tomorrow or Wednesday. I can't remember. We got such a crazy week here, and obviously being here, trying to get ready for y'all's event. We talked about auction items. We've got both you have a break down the evening for viewers, just a little of a sense of what if they don't have a ticket yet, what they need to go ahead and call your office to try to get lined up for next year, to become a sponsor for next year. And real quick, just that, the phone number before we talk about the evening.
The phone number for our office is 347-8058. Of course, anyone can look in the phone book and find Conway Medical Center and call the main number, and they can find us very easily.
Sure.
Just ask for the foundation.
347-8058. 347-8058. Okay, let's break down the evening, Jessica, for viewers who may not have attended in the past and obviously now want to attend.
Yeah. The greatest thing about this event, we change the theme every year. So every year it's a little bit different.
Right.
And this year our theme is Hooray for Hollywood.
Yeah.
So it's really going to be a night of glitz and glam and paparazzi and that sort of thing. And the decorations that we're using are great, and it's just going to be a fun evening. And we started out with our silent auction. It starts at 6 o'clock.
Okay, good.
As guests arrive, they register for the auction, and they have about a 2-hour interval to bid on over 100 items.
Mm-hmm.
So we allow that 2 hours. It seems like a long time, but when you get in and start socializing and having a good time, it goes by really quickly. So we have several different things in our silent auction, and I can't go through all of them, but we have artwork, sweetgrass baskets, jewelry, all sorts of things, and a good variety of things at different price levels. Because the audience that attends our gala, we of course have physicians, but we have representatives from different businesses, small business, large business. So we have a good variety for everyone. Then at 8 o'clock, we go into the ballroom and we have a seated dinner, and we like to surprise our guests when we open the ballroom doors.
No secrets now. Yeah. So you're not going to let something out. Yeah,
that's right. And during that time, we just like for our guests to enjoy the wonderful meal that the chefs here at Marina Inn prepare. It's definitely great and fabulous, the best meal. And then we have a great dessert, which is sponsored by Chancellor Builders this year.
Fantastic, yes.
And after dinner's over with, the band starts and everybody starts dancing, and just a good time.
Absolutely. So folks can be here. As you say, you think about that 6 to midnight. It sounds like a long time. Of course, folks can cut out a little early if they're not big dancers, but even a 6 to 10, that sounds like a long event, but it really passes by quickly.
It really does. There's a lot to see, a lot of people to talk to, and it just goes by very quickly.
Yeah.
And before you know it, it's midnight, and then the cleanup starts.
So you're here a little after midnight, Jessica.
A little bit after.
You and Burns shuffling away out there.
That's right. Well,
sure.
I do want to say to that effect, we have some wonderful volunteers.
A great committee,
that work at the hospital that come out and just work that evening, and they help with the cleanup and and all that. So I have to give them some credit.
And it really is volunteer driven. You've got a committee, and I know you mentioned that right after the Winter Gala, you're focused on the Kingston Golf Classic. At the same time, preparing for next year's Winter Gala, the 9th annual in 2009. Much of that is happening right now as well. Even right now, as we said, since it's a sold-out event, folks need to begin calling to try to get lined up. I don't know if you've made plans back for here, but at the same time, wherever it is, it's a relatively small event, 300 to 350, 400 people. So folks really do need to line up. I don't know if there's been a year it hadn't sold out.
There hasn't been a year, actually. The very first year we sold out, and we wanted to start out small because, we had there's so many galas. There's so many wonderful events in the Myrtle Beach area. So we wanted to start out small, and we've managed to attract a wonderful group of people, and it's a very intimate evening.
Yeah, it is. It is. And the Marina Inn sure does it right. Those seats seem to, now these are very nice seats, obviously, here in the bar. It's kind of them to let us in at 7 a.m., but those chairs are so nice down in the ballroom down there.
It's really a wonderful, ambiance of the evening. Their ballroom is beautiful. They have a really nice what they call the pre-function area where we have our auction. They have that beautiful veranda that overlooks the Intercoastal Waterway, and our guests can walk out there, if they need a breath of fresh air or that sort of thing. So we're very fortunate to be here and to have this beautiful hotel in the area.
It's less than 2 weeks away, but folks could still donate auction items. What are some of the auction items that they could donate this late in the game and still get a good exposure? I mean, what are some of the things you're looking for?
Of course, you know, we love to have local things.
Right.
We love to have, you know, local crafts.
Yes.
Jewelry. It could be, you know, different cosmetic things. Dentistry,
I'm thinking
or
of that. Right.
you know, that
sure,
kind of
anything.
thing.
Yeah.
So we really like to have a real good variety of items.
Okay.
You know, not just artwork,
Right.
but other things that would appeal to, you know, all different types of people.
Obviously, you've got a ton of stuff already, but if folks call the 347-8058 number, they can donate items. And even if it's, is there a minimum dollar amount? I mean, is that you'd want to make sure something had $30, $40, $25, or if it's even smaller, you can package it with other items.
There's really not. You know, what we do is we take those smaller items
Right.
and package them as a nice gift basket or of
Right.
that sort. Oftentimes we get dinner gift certificates and then
Yeah.
a bottle of wine, and so we'll put that
Right.
together. And oftentimes we get passes to different area attractions, and
Sure.
we package that together and call it,
Right.
you know, be a tourist in your town
Oh, yeah.
kind of thing.
Good thinking, Jessica. So this requires a good bit of creativity of you and the committee there.
It does, and we have a wonderful committee
Yeah.
this year chaired by Bonnie Hughes.
Great, yes.
Bonnie is also a big sponsor of the event, Conway Chrysler.
Right.
And they are truly a wonderful committee, creative, and most of the ladies on the committee have served since 2001.
That's right. Judy Price will be with us later this week, of course, having been on it since the get-go. And I think I saw she chaired it a couple of years.
She sure did. She
Working
sure did.
with decorations now, I think, this year, and very
They
excited.
keep coming back.
Yeah.
You know,
Now, is that you or Burns, or is it just the mission?
I don't know. They keep coming back, but I'm very grateful to all of them
Yeah.
for continuing to support this
It's
event.
a pretty good-sized committee, and how does the committee broken down, Jessica? You've got, as we said, Judy there focused on decorations and otherwise. How is the committee broken down, and are you ever looking for volunteers?
We're always looking for new committee members.
Great, good.
That would be wonderful. You know, it's
People
always
better write
great
down
to
that
have
phone number. That's right,
to have new
347-8058.
right.
Good, yeah.
It's always great to have new ideas from people. So we're always looking for people willing to serve on a committee. You know, it's an investment of time,
Right.
and you know, anybody willing to do that, we certainly would love to have them.
Okay, good. Yeah, just break down the committee. So you've got the, and is it virtually the same each year? Some of the things that if a viewer wondered whether or not they could volunteer or could be of any benefit to you, what are some of the things you would need of the committee members?
Some of the committee members enjoy switching around from year to
Right,
year. You
right.
know, like someone might get so tired of asking for auction items. You know,
Yeah.
it's hard to ask
Yeah,
for auction
even your
items.
brother and sister,
Right.
your sister and brother-in-law. That's right. Yeah.
So, you know, we have people who like to do that. We have people who are more creative and like to do the decorating and the
Right.
flowers and
Yeah.
that sort of thing. We have a couple of ladies who really like the thrill of seeking sponsorships.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So they do a great job with that, and you know, and there are some who don't really like to be out in the public eye, but on the day of the event, they're just worker bees trying to get the auction items out
All
and
set up.
yeah, and that's wonderful to do too.
And that highlights, with 350 local folks attending, as you said, from all walks of life, the ability to get something you may sell or something you may sell in your store, or as you said, cosmetic pieces, medical or otherwise. It's a great opportunity to call you to try to get that in front of a big crowd to get your name out. Obviously, there's not tickets available, but still to be able to get auction items in front of folks could be critical.
Right, and it's so important to thank some of these people who donate year after year to not only our organization but
Right.
to others.
Oh, yeah,
and
sure.
You know, it still is a small community.
Yeah.
And for these business owners to be asked over and over,
Right.
and they still donate, says a lot about our community and the things that they believe in. So we're very grateful to our community for continuing to donate some of these items year after year.
Yes, Jessica. You mentioned Chancel Builders. You've got some other tremendous sponsors. Give viewers, we got about 5 minutes, just a sense of some of the other sponsors. You mentioned Paparazzi.
Right.
And obviously Hooray for Hollywood.
Right.
I think you shared with me this morning you got a new paparazzi sponsor.
We sure did. Hard Rock Park came through, and it's going to be our paparazzi sponsor. Of course, Hard Rock Park is new to the community, and they've never been associated with our event, and we're grateful to have them.
Right.
Conway Chrysler again is one of our big supporters.
Yes.
Conway Hospital, Conway Medical Center.
Oh, you mean the medical center actually chips in?
They sure do.
Very nice.
And they're one of our big supporters, and also MB Con, which is a construction company here in the area.
Right.
They're one of our strong supporters as well, and Waccamaw Cardiology. Dr. Andy Gresco's group, he's involved with many organizations in this area and involved in ours as well, so we're very thankful to him.
You've got a new presenting sponsor this year also.
Yes,
we're familiar with that crew.
Yes. The Myrtle Beach Herald.
They're a nice group.
First year they've been our presenting sponsor,
right. Yes.
So we're very grateful to you and the Myrtle Beach Herald as
well.
yeah,
there's a dedicated crew there, obviously, and having it on this side of the waterway was an added incentive. I'm sorry we didn't get to step in last year. I think you had Horry County State Bank and Suncom, folks that have been wrapped around, and year after year you continue to get amazing sponsors. We hope that other community newspapers and daily newspapers will step up to the plate and wrap around the Conway Medical Center Foundation as well.
We hope so too. Yeah. We feel like we're a viable organization and needed in the community, so we hope to get support. When
you talk about, and obviously again we'll talk to the two nurses there on the Health Reach van, but when you think about the Backpack Buddies program, so many other, the mammography screenings, of course the cancer patient transportation, I mean this is really stepping out in a way that, is anyone else in the area doing anything like the Health Reach van? Are there other vans that you're aware of?
You know, not that I'm aware of.
It's amazing.
Not that I'm aware of. You know, I know the Loris community is, Loris Community Hospital is trying to get their foundation started, and of course that's great for the Loris community.
Oh yeah, sure.
And also, you know, the Georgetown hospital system, they have their own foundation, and they do different things in the Georgetown area. And then us, of course, in Horry County.
Sure, the three community medical centers. Actually, we're filming at Seacoast next week, and with a very interesting lineup tied into the foundation. They have formed that, and the former director of the American Heart Association, Tammy Eves, is their new executive director. Tim Brown will be with us next Monday, which will be fun. I think, as we mentioned, Phil Clayton later this week, which will be nice having these two the two CEOs of the two community hospitals, at least based right here in Horry County, back-to-back on Friday and Monday. So
it will.
A good opportunity. Of course, so much has to happen to make an event successful, Jessica. Is there anything that sticks out in your mind over the next less than 2 weeks you're really going to be putting a lot of attention on?
Well, of course, when this time rolls around, it's all about the details. And, you know, we're working very closely with our committee, very closely with the Marina Inn to just fine-tune those details, and we believe that it's going to be a great evening. You know, every year at the end of the event, we're like, how are we going to top this? I think we're going to top last year's, and I'm very excited about it, and I can't wait for the 26th. Absolutely. Jessica, real quick, a live auction. Do you all actually do a live auction that night as well? We do. We do a live auction. This year we have a trip for two to the French Riviera. Get down. And then we have that. Yeah. We have a trip for two to the French Riviera. We have a trip for two to Aruba. We have a 2008 club car donated by Club Car here in Myrtle Beach. Is that right? Get down, Jess. Well, that's a reason. Again, you hate to almost promote the event because clearly viewers who are not yet signed up would want to be there just to bid on those items, and therefore all those dollars go straight into the Conway Medical Center Foundation. Yes, it does, and that's another wonderful thing about this event. All the monies raised go directly back into our Health Reach program. Right. It all stays local. And it helps us have these programs help the medically underserved of Horry County, and that's what it's about. And if a viewer can't be there, obviously, if they don't have a ticket to attend on Saturday, January 26th here, and obviously they may not have something that they could provide for an auction item, can they still wrap around the Conway Medical Center Foundation, and how would they best go about doing that? Yeah, absolutely. You know, if they can't attend the event, however, they feel strongly about our Health Reach programs and keeping them in this community, they certainly can donate to us by cash or check or however they feel comfortable. They can go on our website, donate online.
Yes.
And we're certainly appreciative of that.
Share with viewers the web address if they're to do that.
It's ConwayMedicalCenter.com.
Okay.
And everything about Conway Medical Center is on that site, and then you can click on Foundation.
Okay.
And that's where you go to find out more about our organization.
Good words. Jessica, thanks so much for being with us this morning. We'll see you here on Saturday the 26th.
See you then.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with the Associate Executive Director of the Conway Medical Center Foundation, Jessica Sasser, coming up next. Wasn't it fun to hear Jessica talk about going down to the College of Charleston and thinking that was going to be the place, either there or somewhere far away from Horry County, that would she would end up her life somewhere else. It was something about Horry that was pulling her back. Ultimately, now we know it's the Conway Medical Center Foundation and programs like the Health Reach program. We talk about community screenings or flu shots or getting out mammography, getting out, making an effort, this Health Reach van, and of course the Backpack Buddies, so many of the tremendous programs and part of the Health Reach program that stick out in the community. In the same way, some of the volunteers that show up here on Saturday, January 26th, and are working week after week, day after day to get ready for this event. If you attend it the first time, you'll be back here the next year, either as a volunteer or as a participant. Be a part of it. You can also step out and donate an item. You heard Jessica talk about it. You donate that item, get in front of 350 plus people, has an opportunity to give exposure that you may not see in another event. 347-8058 or ConwayMedicalCenter.com.